Did you know that there's a little town in northeastern Italy that is so close to Slovenia you could walk there? I know, shut up. Now, it is about a 7-mile walk, 2 hours-ish, but still. Imagine that this jalapeno is Italy. We've got the toe of Italy and the top of Italy. Who knew it curves around and borders Slovenia? And right there before the border is a beautiful seaside little city called Trieste. I'm Leslie, and I'm traveling the world looking for everything unique, different, and the more off the beaten path, the better. And today we're going to go see Trieste, Italy. So Trieste is this weird collection of Latin and Slavic and German and Italian, and it's right on the Adriatic and the border of Slovenia. So it's just kind of a combination of everything, and as you'll see, we saw a little bit of all of it today in Trieste. So I'm excited to show it to you, so let's go check it out. Just to recap, we got off the Ultimate World Cruise in Dubai while they went around Africa. We went to Egypt, Jordan, Italy, Switzerland, London. We rejoined in Riviera. We're back on the Serenade for the Ultimate World Cruise, and we're so excited. We're so excited to sleep in our bed, to use our shower, to put our bags and my backpack off my back, to see our friends, to be back on board, to walk these hallways, to see all the stuff, to drink for free, eat for free, travel for free. Well, not free, but free. For already paid for, so it's basically free. And just be home. So here comes Europe. And our very first stop back on board is Trieste. The cruise port is really close, like a 5-minute walk from the city center. So we're gonna just walk into town and make our first stop, Unity Square. The Unity, or Italy Square in Trieste, is today the largest sea-facing square in Europe. It's at the base of the hill of the castle of San Giusto. It once was the most important seaport in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In 1918, it became the Unity Square in the honor of Trieste's annexation by Italy. This is Palazzo del Municipio, or City Hall. The City Hall is the seat of the municipality of Trieste. In the late 19th century, the old palace of the magistrate was demolished to make way for this new gorgeous building. In 1740, the ship San Carlo sank in the Trieste harbor. Rather than removing the wreckage, it was decided to use the hull as the basis of a sideshore pier. So we're gonna just wander our way around Trieste. This little town is perfect to just wander the streets, and there's quite a bit of interesting stops along the way that we can just make one big loop back to the cruise ship. The Grand Canal is cool because where the ship ports, you walk in and walk along kind of the promenade, and then the canal goes into the city. It's located in the Borgo Treziano neighborhood between the railway station and the Unity of Italy Square. It was built between 1754 and 1756 by Venetian engineer Pirano. The Grand Canal has access to the Gulf of Trieste, allowing ships and barges to load and unload in the city center. As we walk down the Grand Canal, at the end is the St. Spiridon Church. It's an Orthodox community established in 1748, and in 1751, the Empress Maria Theresa allowed the free exercise of religion for Orthodox Christians. This prompted the immigration of Serbian traders to Trieste. The first Eastern Orthodox Church was built in the 18th century, and it served as a place of worship for both Serbs and Greeks. This church is gorgeous. Due to the instability of the grounds on which the first church was erected, a joint decision was made to demolish the existing one and erect a second church. The construction of that church began in 1861. The marble used to build the church comes from Carrara. This is the pathway to work our way up the hill to San Giusto. San Giusto has a castle, there's a church, and there's a bunch of Roman ruins. The castle of San Giusto stands on the hill overlooking the city of Trieste. The views from the top of the hill make the traversing of the hill and coming back down again well worth the visit. In 1382, the town came under control of the Austrian Empire, following which the imperial court ordered the construction of a fortress to protect the town and provide accommodations for its captain. We didn't go inside the museum or the church in San Giusto because there was a wedding going on in the church. And so we just wandered the grounds. The view from up here, seeing the church, seeing the castle, and seeing the grounds was well worth it, even though we didn't go inside. In fact, the Roman ruins here, there's a 14th century campanile that rises from the ruins of a 1st century AD Roman temple. The cathedral is dedicated to Saint Just, Trieste's patron. It incorporates 2 5th century Romanesque basilicas, one already dedicated to San Giusto, the other dedicated to Santa Maria Assunta. The most ancient traces of the urban settlement of Trieste are considered to be the remains of the Roman colony of Trieste, founded towards the middle of the 1st century BC. And extended to the northwestern slope of the hill of San Giusto, overlooking the Adriatic Sea. The coast was farther back than it is now, and the evidence of the harbor structures that have been found along the Teatro Romano are built of sandstone slabs in the 1st and early centuries AD. This area served as a monumental entrance to a sacred enclosed area believed to have held the temple. It consisted of 2 large structures with a stairway at the center. The archaeological excavation carried out between 1929 and 1934 brought to light the remains of the civil basilica and this area. At the foot of San Giusto Hill by the sea, the Romans built a larger theater with a capacity of 3,500 spectators. The lower rows of seats in brick are still visible, with the great wall that enclosed the audience section, while only the pit section remains of the stage, which was covered in wood and a few set structures. There are some inscriptions notable here that date back to the early years of the 2nd century AD. But it was not until 1938 that the theater was brought to light following major works of demolition and urban requalification that revealed the theater. I found this analemmatic sundial fascinating. So an analemmatic sundial is a particular kind of horizontal sundial in which the shadow casting object is vertical and is moved depending on the date, or to be more precise, depending on the declination of the sun on a given day. We can use the shadow cast by a person. This makes it very different from a traditional sundial we often see in parks and gardens, where the shadow is cast by a triangular shaped wedge. Look at this water. So you would think, like at first glance, this looks like marble. And like a beautiful, gorgeous marble that you would have on your counter. But a closer look, it's the water in the Grand Canal. It was so crazy. I had to take a picture of it, and I researched it, and here's what it says. Apparently, there's a phenomenon going on currently in the Adriatic and many of the countries around this area with this kind of brown, green, yellow algae. It apparently is typically associated with sudden increases in nutrients from the rivers flowing into this region, likely exacerbated by heavy rainfall in the recent weeks. It's algae, it's not toxic, it's just gross to look at, but it's not like bad for you, but it's affecting the beaches along this area. And it's, like I said, in the canals, it was everywhere. When we were in port, it's in the water in the port area. You might think that this is like a new phenomenon for the area or some kind of global issue that's going on. It's not. This algae apparently has been seen in the Adriatic as early as 1697. The term mare sporco, or dirty sea, has been used in specialist literature for centuries. Old photos from the early days of tourism show men in swimsuits and women with hats and umbrellas holding their noses because of the stench on the beach. So I didn't notice that it smelled, although I could see how it would because it literally covered the area in the canal. So our short day in Trieste comes to an end. There definitely is pros and cons to cruising and stopping in these cruise ports, because we got very used to being on our own time and our own schedule and just staying as long as we wanted and seeing the nightlife. And on board, when you've got a onboard time, it gets cut short. So we're heading back to the cruise ship, and next up is Slovenia. Remember I said Trieste borders the Adriatic and Slovenia. So we're going to kind of scoot our way down Slovenia, Croatia to head back over to the boot of Italy. So next up is Slovenia. And I was in Slovenia with a group of my girlfriends in 2019 and absolutely loved Slovenia and Croatia. So I'm super excited to show you our stop in Slovenia and Croatia. So don't miss that video coming up. If you liked the video today, I would love to hear your comments. Don't forget to put them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you're notified next time of the Slovenia video. So as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming with me to explore all of Trieste. And until Slovenia, bye for now.